Hello YouTube, I'm going to be making episodes based on game development. Today we will be doing movement and camera following. These scripts are very beginner friendly and easy to remember and learn. Let's get into it. Now, I'm going to be using Tasty Characters Forest Package. Now, I recommend you using this. I really enjoy it. It's a really good pack for beginners and it's really fun. As you can see, this beautiful pack gives us a collection of 15 characters. Now, just press import. It should only take a couple seconds and you shouldn't have any issues. I'm going to open this folder and go down to scenes into lineup just so we can see these beautiful characters that this artist has made. Now, you can pick any character that you want, whichever one you want, you just grab the character and you will drag it into your screen. So, now that you picked your character, we're going to go back into scenes and go back to the normal scene. Now we're going to go into prefabs right here under Tasty Characters Forest Pack, and we're going to drag the character you have picked. Now we're going to press F2 to rename, or you can go up here to rename your character, just like that. I'm going to do exactly this under prefab and go to unpack completely. It's very important you do that as well. We're also going to put our tag under here to player, and you'll see exactly why in a few minutes. Now add component and make sure to put in a rigid body. Make sure it's 2D. After that, we're going to add a box collider and make sure that's 2D as well. Now, as you can see, our box collider will stop directly around our neck. See that line? And what that does is, if I create a 2D sprite, which is a square, and name this ground, doesn't matter what you name it, I'm going to move it down, and our ground will need a box collider as well. Box collider 2D. And that's it. Now we will start the game and you're going to see him fall and the top of his neck, or on the top of his neck, will stop. Just like that. That's where our box collider is around the neck and the head. So we don't want that because today we're making a platform 2D video game with simple movement. So we're going to have to go to our box collider and press edit collider. Now there's many ways of doing this. Here, I'll find a better way of you guys being able to see what I'm doing. You could either go down like that, or you can use this. It really matters what you enjoy and what helps you. Now just like that, if we move our character, oh, and please make sure to not grab this, because if I'm going to show you, if you move one of these that are inside, like the eye is just going to move and you don't want that. You want the whole character to move. So make sure to grab the full parent. Now that I press play and start, you're going to see that the character will actually drop on top of the platform, like a platformer. There we go. It's very simple. If you're having any issues, just replay the video. Now, now that we're done this, we're gonna close Box Collider 2D and go into Rigid Body. Now, under Rigid Body, we're gonna go under that into Constraints, and we're gonna go under Freeze Rotation and make sure to check Z. Very important you do that. You'll see exactly why later on. Now, our gravity we can do -1, which I'll show you exactly what happens when you minus gravity, or we can go 1, and that's what we're going to be using today is 1. If you were using or making an RPG game, you'd want it to be 0, but we're not doing that today. So after doing that, having constraints done and all of that stuff, now we can work on the script. So doing so, we just go new and then script, or else you can just name something like movement C and it will all automatically make a new script for you. Now we just open it. It should only take a couple seconds. It shouldn't be hard and it shouldn't be slow. Alright, now that we're in here, I'm gonna show you a quick and a couple ways of getting it done a little bit faster than what you might have known or what you might have been learned. So do public float speed public float jump equals 5. Now I'm gonna show you the difference of that. Now, as you can tell, our speed that we didn't equal to is 0. Our jump is already equal to what we put it as. So if you're making a quick prototype game and you just do this, then later on and you start it and you forget, it's going to be a little bit annoying. So by already equaling it to something, it's automatically going to be there. As you can see, it's not there. You'd have to manually change it, which would be annoying. So equals 5 and equals 5. Just like that. We can do 6 or whatever you want. Now you can name this right here anything you want as well. It doesn't matter as long as it adds up to the code, which I'll show you in a bit. Now we're going to do private rigid body and 2D, and we're going to name this rig. Now you can change this to whatever you want, but I don't recommend doing that anytime soon. And I don't recommend you doing this anytime soon until you know this short line of code like the back of your hand. So private here, you could also make that public. It doesn't really change. I would recommend using private. It just saves you a lot of time, and I enjoy doing that. So rig equals get component rigid body 2D, just like that. Now we're basically setting in our rigid body. So our speed and movement. This are jumping, and this are rigid. Let's get down here. Now we're gonna do bar movement equals input dot get axis, and then horizontal, just like that. Then sorry, now we're gonna do transform dot position plus equals new vector 3, movement 0 and then 0. Then we're gonna do time dot delta time and then our speed. Now like I was saying before, you could change this to whatever you want as long as it adds up to the code. See, if I added a capital S with a D, it's not going to pick up on this. Even if I had a capital S, as you can see, this doesn't show up. Maybe if I just make it speed with the S, as you can see, this automatically, it picks up. I'm making it a capital S, it doesn't pick up. So it's very, very important you follow the code, make sure there's no caps, you make sure all of that is good. Now, the one thing that sucks about learning code and memorizing it is you have to remember the caps as well. So if you're copying exactly what I put down, make sure that the caps and everything is the exact same, or else you're gonna run into problems and issues. Maybe some console errors. See, everything that I put down I had to memorize with the capitals, and sometimes it could be really difficult, but sometimes it could be a little bit easy. Just make sure that everything's exact same as I put down. You could always go back and rewind the video. Now we're gonna do if mathf dot approximately 0 and then movement, just like that. And then we're going to do transform dot rotation equals movement greater than 0 question mark quaternion. I don't know how to say that properly. And then Euler 0, 180, 0, and then quaternion dot identity, just like that. Now this is basically just movement. By the way, this is a description, or that's what I call it. That's just movement right there. There's a lot better ways to also do this. You don't have to do late update. My friend told me it's better to do that. This is just a very simple way of doing a platformer, and that's going to be the platformer that I'm going to be working on in this series of episodes. So there's a lot better ways like move position and add force and some other ones that are way better than just using transform, especially with physics, and there might be some colliding issues, but we'll get into that a different day. This is just simple code for those who were interested in something a little bit fast and easy. So if input dot get axis, or no, get axis, get button down, jump, and mathf dot abs rig dot velocity dot y. As you can see here, our rig. Now we're calling our rig. So by doing that, we're gonna do this dot 001f, just like that. Oh. Now there's another way we can do this. We could also, when doing the brackets or any of that stuff, we could just do it like this. It'll add up the same. It saves us room. But I like doing it like this because it will show you guys, and it'll make it a little bit easier for you to see and copy and write down. So I'm gonna put now rig, which is our rig, dot add force. And this is what I was meaning by add force, and new vector 3, and then we're gonna do 0 with j ump, which is our jump. Oh, sorry. Now our jump is our jump right here that we're calling, as you can see. Now we're gonna add force mode 2D dot impulse, just like that. Very fast and simple. Now this is our jumping. Should be no errors or no issues. There we go. Now I'm just gonna remove this because I already have my script exactly how I want it. So now when we press play, as you can see, our character is gonna drop down. We can also jump and all of that. Now we can go to our character and make our speed a little bit better and our jumping a little bit higher, or we can go down into our rigid body and make our gravity a little bit higher. That will make it so our character will hit the ground a little bit faster. As you can see, looks a little bit better. Now that is just simple movement in this video.